Hi, I'm Anna Denton-Jones, and in this first Knowledge November video in the series, I'm going to be talking about the reasons why an employee may not perform to the standard that we want them to. So there might be a number of different reasons, and part of our job when we're talking to somebody about their performance is to try and tease out whether any of these things might be going on. So the first reason is that the employee might not actually know how to do the job, and that is a failing on the part of the organisation. So that might be that our onboarding process, our induction process is lacking in some way. We've failed to explain to somebody what their job actually is. It may be that their job description is dramatically out of date with what they're now being expected to do, and then we haven't put in place the right framework around that person in terms of training and support so that they reach an understanding of what the job actually involves. So to some extent we might be about to criticise somebody for something where it's slightly unfair because they had no way of knowing that something was expected. Have we set down to them in writing what they are required to do? I'm thinking things like standard operating procedures in a factory. Where do they get their understanding of what it is that they're supposed to be doing from? Secondly, we might be in a situation where somebody doesn't understand the importance of doing something in a particular way. Again, that might be because we've not set it out for them, but certainly in terms of tasks fitting into a bigger picture, if we've never explained the importance or the significance of something, then they're less likely to have that understanding as to why something is a critical ingredient as part of that bigger picture. There may actually be obstacles in the person's way. I'm sure we've all come across teams where maybe within a team there are things that actively put barriers in somebody's way from them being able to do their job. It might be that another team in the organisation is causing a block in some way so that performance can't take place as effectively. Sometimes I think people fear negative consequences for actually doing the right thing and doing their job properly. That can be as a result of sort of cultural peer pressure. There might be a fear that a role, if I flag that I haven't really got enough work to do, is my job going to be redundant? Might be a fear. Or in some other way, the culture works against people raising concerns or things that might otherwise lead to better performance. So we need to think about if any of those things might be present. Sometimes we don't address performance in a way which leads to people feeling that it's easier to not perform because I'm not picked up on this, so I might as well carry on. There might be active resistance from the person. Certainly when there's great changes going on, people are often fearful of those changes and actively try to resist that change, and that can be going on here with performance as well. Sometimes there are other things going on. We'll talk next week about some of the things that might be going on in the background in somebody's personal life, but I'm a big believer that people don't get up in the morning intending to go to work and do a bad job, but sometimes there are limits in somebody's capabilities. But equally, we've got to look at whether as an organisation we've put the right structure around them in terms of training and support to enable them to hit the ground running. So have we as an organisation found the right way to engage that particular person? Sometimes we have got the sort of proverbial round peg in a square hole type scenario where somebody is just not suited to this particular task, and actually their strengths lie somewhere else. Shouldn't we be designing the job around the person a little bit so that their strengths are they're able to shine, rather than trying to fit that misshapen peg in the wrong hole? So those are some of the things that might be going on. Our job is, when we're having these conversations, to try and unpick and find out if any of those apply.